Hi, everybody. Welcome to Magic Universe. This is Message from Universe 22. This is a timeless message for whenever you watch it, and it's also a part of the Pick a Message playlist. And you can find out information on how to play with the playlist in the description below. If you're interested in a private reading or healing that's just for you, you can go to my website at magicuniverse.co. That's .co. Thank you. Here's Message from Universe 22. So there are two different messages that are coming through. And it could be that, say, like one message is for some of you guys, and then the other message is for some other of you guys. Or it could be that it's like a continuous story, where it goes from one energy and then it shifts because you guys make the shift, and then it shifts into the second half of the story or something like that, right? All right, so just see which parts resonate with you. So it starts off really, really good. Like the first row of cards, you can even see from the colors, right? The colors like very bright, things are happening, right? And then on the second half of the spread is like the colors are a little bit murkier, and then you even see like some of the gestures of the people are very similar. Like if you see in the Death card and the Four of Cups, they kind of look very similar in the way that they're kind of bored, right? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So the color that you guys are vibrating at is this kind of light orange color, which sort of that orange kind of shows up in the Yang card, the first one in the first row, and the last card of the King of Wands in the first row, and then also a little bit in that fire in the Kali shadow card in the second row, right? In that orange, when I'm looking at it, it's a little bit muted. So it's not like that fiery orange like in the Yang card. So it's kind of like, which kind of makes sense because if you look at the first two cards, you have Yang, which is about action, which is about creativity. It makes me think of the Ace of Wands card in the tarot deck, which is the beginning, right? Ace is a one. And this is actually a number one card too. So it talks about like the beginning of an action, the beginning of an inspiration, beginning of something happening, which goes perfectly with the second card, Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn meaning you're going from the nighttime into the daytime. Like something is about to break. You're about to have a breakthrough. Something is about to burst into the scene, as you're seeing in the Yang card, right? There's an explosion of some sort, but it's like the beginning of it. Like maybe you've gone through some darkness, right? And now you're beginning to see the light. And so it's really good things happening, which in terms of me seeing that kind of muted orange, it makes sense because it's like maybe the colors were or are still now at the point of just beginning to turn brighter, right? So, but there's an excitement that's coming, that's on the horizon, okay? And then if you look at the rest of the first row, the lovers talks about harmony. You look at the two, I think they're seals, and the two hearts, they're resonating, right? They're like mirroring each other. So this could talk about relationships, right? Where your hearts are finally synchronizing, you're coming together, you're recognizing that the other person is either a part of you or like there's some harmony between the two of you, right? So this doesn't, I mean, it could talk about a romantic relationship. This could talk about you just getting along with another person, in a different type of relationship. But there's something about recognizing the spirit of the other person, the soul of the other person, and going, hey, we're alike and we like each other and we get along and it's so cool. And I'm feeling that kind of vibe. And so, if this is talking about a relationship, if you look at the next two cards, the Knight of Cups generally talks about some kind of offer of some kind, right? So perhaps in a relationship type setting, you're getting an offer of some kind. So this could be a romantic offer, like a date. It could be a marriage proposal. It could be, like different kinds of things. If it is talking about a non-romantic relationship, This could be talking about a business proposal. This could be any kind of offer that somebody is saying like, hey, you want to come hang out with me? Like if it's like a friend thing, right? So you guys go socialize, but it's about taking action, the King of Wands, right? Somebody within this relationship, either you or the other person, or if it's within a group of people, somebody is taking the action of the King of Wands and saying, hey, let's get together, let's go do this thing, let's go start this project, right? With the yang, with that action taking, because that also talks about creativity. Let's begin this thing. And I'm seeing like a burst of energy, a burst of coming together and creating something. So yeah, whether that be a relationship or a project, some business or something like that, and it's the beginning of it. So that feels really good. Trying to see if there's anything else about that. Okay. The other thing is, if this is not talking about your relationship with another person, the Lovers could also talk about your relationship with your higher self, your relationship with you, your own feelings, right? Where now you're in synchronization with your own thoughts, you're synchronized with your higher self and what your inner calling is calling you to. And so that's why the dawn is breaking, because maybe previously you weren't in such a place where maybe your mind was arguing with your heart, something like that, right? There was some kind of thing where you weren't quite in harmony with yourself, and but now you're coming into harmony with yourself, and that's why there's a breakthrough, and that's why there's beginning of inspiration, beginning of action taking place. And then so the Knight of Cups in that situation would talk about like you now following your heart, you now taking the action to move forward, following your inner guidance, right? And following your King of Wands, your inspiration, and really taking control of that fire that's inside of you now, and going, oh, I know what I want to do now, and moving on that, taking action on that. So that looks really good. The second part of the reading. So look at this to see if it really ties in. So like the second part of the reading, if you're having that breakthrough, and the second part of the reading, maybe it's not about you at all, or maybe it's about the energy that you're coming out of, okay? And that you're moving into the more breakthrough type of energy. But the second part, if you look at what I'm seeing in the Violet Angel Breaking Dawn, that look on her face, she looks a little bit bored, I mean, if you look at that, and then you look at the Death card and the Four of Cups, and you look at Stranded, the middle card on the second row, it's kind of like there's this energy about there was nothing happening before. Right? It's like everybody's just kind of like ho-hum sitting around waiting for something to happen. And there was nothing happening before. And that has to do with what I was talking about, how if there was some kind of struggle between your mind and your heart, or maybe there was some kind of struggle within you where it's like you're wanting to just do something, but you don't know what it is, or maybe you wanted to do something, but then there's just all these doubts and all this uncertainty, and then all these other voices saying like, just making you feel confused. And so there was no forward movement, right? And then so that's talked about in the Shadow card, where it's really just like your inner, you can call them demons, or your inner shadows, your inner demons, your inner those voices and those thoughts that make you think that you can't move forward on something because they're out of fear, out of uncertainty, out of maybe feeling like you're not capable, or just those kind of darker, lower energies that tell you no, stop. And then so universe is saying, I have complete control over my own thoughts, and this is how you can get out of this phase of feeling stranded, or feeling like you're bored, or feeling like things aren't happening, or not being able to move forward, right? That kind of lower, murkier kind of color vibrations, right? There's so many opposing thoughts within my own mind that go against what I'm wanting to do, and kind of dampening my spirits, and making it feel like, well, even if I had felt like I knew what I wanted to do, all those other thoughts make it feel like I don't know what I want to do because they kind of drown out my little voice, right? And so the back of this card says, you can find yourself in an endless loop, right? That's that uncertainty where you explain that you feel negative because of the negative behavior of someone else. But if instead you take control of your own emotions and you think an improved thought because it feels better to do so, you can turn it around. You have no real control of what anyone else is doing with their vibration or with their actions for that matter, but you have complete control over your own thoughts, vibrations, emotions, and point of attraction. So this is talking about, say if those voices were coming from the outside, coming from other people and telling you no, telling you, oh, you should do it this way, or you can't do that, and things like that, right? Some of that, those shadow aspects, right? Then universe is telling you, you can take control of that. Be the King of Wands, right? Take control of the what you're allowing into your space, what you're allowing into your mind, what you're allowing into your consideration, right? And come into harmony. The Lovers, come into harmony with yourself and leave everybody else out of the equation, and just kind of like be able to distinguish what's in your heart and what's true for you, and come into harmony with that. And in that way, then you can dispel all the shadows. Then you can come out of the stranded state. Because in the stranded, when I look at this card, I feel like this person is prepared, like the boat's all ready. There's, the boat's fine. It's not wrecked. There's nothing wrong with it. The sails are up. The little boy is like dressed, and ready to go. But it's just a matter of getting this person into the right place in order to sail, right? And so there's nothing wrong, when I look at this, the person, or like the boat, or their readiness, their preparation is fine, it's perfect, but it's just a matter of getting them either timing or something like that getting them into the right place in order for things to move forward. And I feel like when you have control of your own thoughts, and you can come into harmony of what you're wanting to do, how you're wanting to create your life, and just get rid of the shadows, dispel the shadows, make peace with the shadows. I'm also hearing, right? And come into harmony with yourself, and you're not in resistance anymore. The stranded card, you won't be stranded anymore. You'll just be prepared and ready to go. And the Death card, he's bored now, but the Death card also talks about the end of a cycle. It talks about when something is done and then you're ready to move on to the next thing, which I feel like the gates will open, like the gates behind this skull guy, this skeleton guy. The gates are going to open, and you're going to be able to go out, get out of the end of this cycle and move on to the next cycle. And then the Four of Cups, again, this talks about this person not seeing the opportunity that's being offered to him. And oh, look at this. You have the cup being offered, and then the Knight of Cups is, remember what I was saying? There's something being offered to you, right? So there is something being offered to you when you're able to control your thoughts, to make peace with the energies within yourself. You're going to be able to see that cup, the Knight of Cups, being offered to you, and you'll be like, oh, it's been here. It's now being offered to me. Whereas you wouldn't be able to see it if you're still in that shadow state, that shadow phase where you're fighting against these other thoughts, right? So the key to all of this is getting control of your thoughts, to come into harmony with yourself, and then you'll be able to end the cycle, move on to the next cycle with the Yang card, right? New cycle, a beginning, and you'll see the cup that's offered to you, and then that breakthrough, that's your breakthrough, and that's when all this energy from the first row is going to happen, okay? All right. And so ending on the Condor card, hope, unexpected success, sacred alliances, affirmation, I accept life and I thrive. And so this affirmation, I feel like if you can resonate with this within your own heart, like if you look at the Lover's card where the seal's holding the heart, to your heart space, right? Hold this energy to your heart space and just say to yourself, I accept life and I thrive. And do this for like, if you want to try to do it, like maybe 10-15 minutes in the morning every day when you wake up, just say to yourself, put your hand over your heart, just like the little seal, right? I accept life and I thrive. And it's like you're accepting the life and you're also accepting that you're thriving, okay? And you say this to yourself. Try it for a week, you don't have to do it for a long time, but try it for a week and see if it stirs up something inside you and starts to get that yang energy moving within you. Because I'm seeing the little leaves in this girl, like there's this energy, there's that energy right there, that yang energy starting, there's growth, right, with the leaves and that muted orange color that I was talking about. I'm just noticing it right now. And it's like, yeah, it's going to start to stir something. And so the back of this card, here's some encouragement from universe. Even if all seems lost, right? Even if you're in this stranded mode or maybe the death mode or the shadow mode right now, even if all seems lost, there will be a reversal of a negative trend and the restoration of life affirming energy, the Yang card, right? And also Breaking Dawn, Violet Angel. Find the wisdom within to embrace that which others turn away from. In learning from all your experiences, your soul will become strong, nourished, and empowered. Trust in the value of what cannot be put into words. What cannot be put into words, that's vibration, right? That's love. That's that mantra, the affirmation. I accept life and I thrive. That feeling. I mean, they're putting it into words so you can say it as an affirmation, but it's really just a feeling, right? There's value in that. You can tune into a deeper nonverbal way of being and communicating. You can have a far-reaching influence. Authentic self-expression is important for your well-being. Listen to the wisdom of your body. Okay? So just read that over for yourself and see which parts that hits you. Because I feel like there's something deep in that, just the way the card says it right here. You can tune into a deeper nonverbal way of being and communicating. Okay? All right. So one last thing that I was noticing right when I was reading that is that the Kali card, shadow, a lot of times indicates death, meaning the end of something, like destroying something so you can just like get it done and over with and move on to the next thing, which is the Breaking Dawn, right? So I feel like it's so perfect that this really talks about really just on the edge of ending something and beginning something. So whether you're closer to the ending part or just right on the precipice, or you're closer to the beginning part of something new, is like, this is what this whole reading is about. It just talks about right at that space, that right between the old and the new, right there. All right. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. This is Message from Universe 22. Click on the like, the thumbs up if you like this reading, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.